develop strategies for effectively utilizing real estate mortgages and related financial products to achieve a more secure financial future. For the real estate investor,
let's plug in,
he's able to provide
tune in,
matching the right properties and financing with your specific financial objectives. This show is dedicated to helping you find the safe and simple approach to buying income-producing real estate. If you have any questions about the program or to arrange a consultation, call toll-free 888-595-7779. That's 888-595-7779. Now, today's edition of The Real Estate Show.
And hello, South Florida. Welcome once again to the Monday edition of The Real Estate Show. Our Mondays on a mission of The Real Estate Show, which is the first of 5 shows. That's right, 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. We are here live at 5 different ways for you to catch our show online, on the air, on the app, on our website, and even on Facebook.com. Well, we got a great show for you today as we start rolling forward into another, really interesting week as things with the new Delta variant seem to be reversing some of the progress that was being made in opening places back up. The real estate world is also watching some very interesting little shifts going on. And we want to talk about that this whole entire week. But I'm also going to tell you the 10 best reasons why real estate is the best business in the world. And I'll tell you that having gone through what we've gone through over the last couple years, in fact, even over the last 10 years, it is solidified in my mind and convinced me beyond the change or even a shadow of a doubt that real estate it's a stone cold fact that real estate is the best investment vehicle that there is out there, bar none. And add to that the fact that real estate is a great hedge against inflation, that real estate has so many advantages. In fact, I'm going to give you those top 10 reasons. We're going to talk more about that. But I think that it's real important, and I want to share this with you. First of all, I want to share how you can reach us here at The Real Estate Show. Number one, you can reach us always 24/7, 7 days a week, 365 days out of the year on our website. Always open, always available at automaticlandlord.com. That's automaticlandlord.com. And on that website, you'll find just a whole host, not to mention every one of our shows recorded back, since we went live on the internet, which is now quite a few years back. And on top of that, we have an archive of pretty much all of our shows going back since 1999. And it was kind of fun listening to some of the past shows in going back when we were talking about some of the fundamentals. And it's amazing how true those fundamentals remain to this day in real estate. Unique, different, and better than any other investment vehicle out there. Today, during this afternoon, we're getting ready to put on some first-time home buyer workshops. And these are very interesting because right now, in light of the federal stimulus, in light of the banks trying to make things more available as the affordability becomes an issue. So being a first-time home buyer right now is a very good place to be. In fact, probably better to be a first-time home buyer today than it has been in a long time. And so we're going to talk about that throughout the week. But we were in this workshop today, and we were talking about all of the different advantages that there are and the incentives that there are. Last week we spent the entire week talking about down payment assistance. If you missed any of our shows last week, they're all available on our website at automaticlandlord.com as well. So all you have to do is go to the top of the page where it says The Real Estate Show, go under the Real Estate Show notes. You'll see a chronological list of every one of our shows going backwards in chronological. So the newest on top, and then the day before, and then the day before that, and so forth. And literally there is a Smithsonian library of real estate information there on the website. And so check it out. Go there, listen, pick a topic, read some of the notes, And most of all, make sure that you share that. It's a free resource out there for anyone that wanting to get involved in real estate. You can also reach us through our Real Estate Show Smart Text line. We have a dedicated text line just for you, the listeners, that want information that you hear us talk about on the air. So you can click on anything that you want to know about on our website. You can text us anything that you want to know. All you have to do is know some of the keywords, and I'll give them out during the radio show as they're appropriate. For instance, today we're talking about why real estate is the best business in the world. Well, the word today is investor. So text the word investor, and you'll hear a couple of topics that we're going to talk about today, why you'll want to do that. And so it's the word investor. Text it to 561-861-2366. Once again, so that's 561-861-2366. Now, there's always a flip side to every coin. And one of the things that I also wanted to make sure and share, because this was sort of late breaking news last week, and I know this will come as a disappointment to many of you. It is not a surprise to those of you who listen on the Real Estate Show. And if you're a regular listener, you know I've been talking about the moratoriums, that they're coming to an end. And I think that the federal government is trying to do two things. And although a little bit contradictory to each other, they are really towards the end of a soft landing in real estate. So all of you waiting for, the foreclosure tsunami, the default cyclone, or whatever else people are calling that stuff out there, I've been laying the foundation and the rules, as to why that just ain't gonna be, barring something that's not on the horizon at all. And of course, the Delta variant could be one of those things, although I don't. But I will tell you that between the strength of the borrowers that are in the market, the number of those borrowers that have already, voluntarily opted out of their forbearance programs, when I look at the amount of investors that are standing on the sidelines, ready, willing, and able to pick up whatever may come, because we're so short on inventory, between the low interest rates for first-time home buyers, the down payment assistance programs that I've been talking about for the last week, there is just a laundry list. And that's not even talking about this wave. You want to talk about a wave coming? Call that the millennial wave, who's coming to buy, coming into their peak earning years, coming into their peak family years, and the changing American habit of trying to get out of the densely populated, cool urban areas to a little bit more space in between suburban areas. And you'll start to see why there's a lot more reasons why it won't happen than it will. And it would take something especially different and unique for there to be, a real, will there be a softening? Of course, the market has to soften up a little bit because it can't stay double-digit increases. Remember, over the long haul, real estate tends to appreciate somewhere between 3 to 7%. So take an average of 5%, 3% in the Rust Belt areas, more like 7% in the Sun Belt areas. And you're going to hear that Sun Belt conversation come up more and more. I used to think that I was one of the few people that used to focus on, that lower California, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, all the way over to Florida, because who wants to live, where it's cold 6 to 8 months out of the year? And so the idea of quality of life, and not to mention, there was a time, I forget this. Now this goes back a lot longer, when I was talking about the ability in Florida for us to transform our outside to be part of our living space, almost like it was inside. The outdoor kitchens that are being built now, the outdoor living areas, and the very cool fire pits, and the TV sitting areas, and the outdoor fireplaces. that all of a sudden you could have a 2,000 square foot house and another 2,000 square foot living area outside that gives you, quite frankly, a nice quality of life. And then when you can enjoy that outside area practically year round, you understand why there's such a demand and there's such a flux of people going down to the Sun Belt states, and why prices particularly in those states are going up, 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 up. And at some point there'll be an equilibrium point where the affordability issue becomes the issue, not just inventory, and you'll see that slow down too. So it's not a matter of if we'll have real estate cycles. We always do. We always will. However, if I were to want a safe place, a hard asset, again, protection against inflation, something that is by its very nature scarce. They're not making any more land. So, the population, the demand is always growing. The economy grows, and therefore that increases the ability of the demand. It just tells you that over time, it's just a matter of time, but real estate will continue for its upwardly growth. And so would you rather have a 3% appreciation up in the Rust Belt, a 7% appreciation in the Sun Belt, or a mixture and an average of a steady 5% appreciation in real estate just across the board over the long period, with spurts of double-digit growth and spurts of flat or no growth, and every once in a while you even see a pullback in the marketplace. All of that is normal and healthy, and if you keep your eye on what's going on, you'll be able to see a lot of that coming even in advance. So one topic, in fact, what I want to talk about in today's show, in addition to the 10 reasons why real estate is the best business that there is on planet Earth, is the extension. In fact, I started going into this conversation about how the government is trying to do two things. One is they're trying to get back into a free economy where the laws of supply and demand are allowed to work what they do. But at the same time, they don't want to pull the stilts out from the artificially supported market that's going on right now for certain landlords, for certain tenants, and so forth. And like I said, a little bit of bad news. Good news for the tenants is that late last week, the Federal Housing Finance Agency, the FHFA, announced the extension of the Fannie Mae Freddie Mac moratorium on single-family foreclosures. So that means that they have moved the goalpost once again from the June 30th, which is just a couple days away, to now July 31st. And of course, as I mentioned before, not all, but most banks will sort of follow suit with what Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac are doing. They'll follow suit because it puts them in better light or better favor with the Federal Housing Finance Agency. And so now we just seen that moratorium get extended one more month. But remember the other thing I was saying before, that before the government had laid it out at 6 months, increments. Then they cut it down to 3-month increments. Read the writing on the wall. They just extended it 1 month this time. So heed the kind advisement. Get your affairs in order, because this may be very well, barring, another outbreak of significant proportions. What's going on right now is not going to be enough to slow it down. But this could be the final moratorium, and then maybe there'll be other measures. Think about that. Maybe it's not going to be the moratorium anymore, which is a pretty heavy-handed thing to do to prevent the free market forces to work its normal cleansing duty. But you might see some other things as well. So we're going to go ahead and take a quick break, hear a few words from our sponsors. Don't touch that dial. You're listening to the Mondays on a Mission edition of the Real Estate Show. Remember our keyword for today, if you want to text in, get more information for an investor. If you're an investor in trouble, or whether you're an investor on the prowl looking for some good deals, text the word investor to 561-861-2366. Or of course, you can read the blogs on our website as well for some of the information, but the reports, you got to text the word investor to 561-861-2366. Hey, don't touch that dial. You're listening to The Real Estate Show. My name is Eric Willner, and I will be right back. Bill, how are you doing there? Let's see there. We got Bill, Marianne. Marianne, we got a busy day ahead of us today, don't we? It's been slammed to the walls today. But it's a good problem. We're looking for some more interns again because our project in Brazil, now possibly expanding into Panama. Brazil and Portugal are definitely a green light. And so we're actually looking for some interns. Some more people want to learn about real estate, be in the thick of it all. Text intern to our 561-861-2366. And welcome back. For those of you just joining us here on The Real Estate Show, you're listening to America's longest running daily radio show about real estate, now in our 23rd consecutive years. Through good times and the bad times, The Real Estate Show has been your constant, good source, reliable source, beacon of light in the middle of all of the noise that goes on in the real estate market, from the highs that we had in 2006 to the lows in 2009 and the Great Recession, to now we can even say we've been through the highs and lows, the Great Recession and the Great Pandemic of 2019, of the COVID-19 pandemic. And yet real estate has been incredibly resilient, as you have seen over all of this time. Real estate always recovers. And real estate always has been the best investment out there, which is why more wealthy people own real estate as a cornerstone, as a foundation. In fact, many more millionaires were created because of real estate than any other investment vehicle out there. So it's wise to know. And we're going to talk this entire week about why being a real estate investor, in spite of anything that you hear out there. And so just to get our week started, we kind of laid the groundwork there in the first half of the show. I was sharing in the first half of the show how the FHFA has extended the foreclosure and the eviction moratoriums again, but only for 30 days. And I was saying, listen, they're extending it for shorter and shorter periods of time, meaning that they're getting ready to not extend it again. They are giving you ample signal that please get your affairs in order, reevaluate your budget, reevaluate what you can do and what you should be doing. And if you want to have a confidential, no cost, no obligation consultation to talk about real estate, what's the right path for you? I certainly am and open to do that. All you have to do is text the word discovery. And for a lot of people, the conversation that I have when our callers call us about that question, what should I do next with my real estate dreams or hopes, whether it be home ownership, whether it be investor ownership, but text the word discovery to 561-861-2366. And I promise you, money back guarantee that you'll walk away from that conversation glad that you dialed those numbers, that you texted the word discovery to the 561-861-2366 number, and better off knowing more clearly what to do and what your options are. So if you're looking at the moratorium for another only 30 days as being a challenge, well, then I certainly recommend that you're the one that should be first. And now dialing that number to text the 561-861-2366. I will tell you also, and this is kind of interesting along the same thing, because as you know, I've been watching this process very closely, and what's very neat, and I'm lucky that I can watch the process from different vantage points. As a landlord myself, of course, I'm very interested in what's going on because it sets the playing field of what the rules of engagement are right now, right? And we figured out not only those rules, but how to navigate those rules in order to keep properties rented and keep people from taking advantage of the moratorium scenarios. But what's also very interesting right now is that the federal government, which, as I mentioned before, the FHFA extended the moratoriums another 30 days to July 31st. So I'll put a big red mark on that calendar there because that's, in my opinion, very likely if they don't completely lift the moratoriums, they're going to start restricting it more and more. Or they may replace that with another program that I've heard a little bit of conversation about. But now you also have to take a look at your local areas because certain states are taking a different approach. California, for example, and my heart goes out to landlords in California. They just extended the moratorium out to September 30th. And so that really puts a very difficult situation that landlords are going through for Californians even farther out. And good luck if they were even cash flowing before. So I don't know, maybe some of the landlords are just going to throw their hands up and just say, if the government is going to take care of everybody, go ahead and take care of everybody. On the other hand, like I said, this is a great opportunity to text the word discovery because there are other options that may suit you in particular, and I'm more concerned about you, the listener, when it comes to this question. What's also very interesting, and what you should be aware of also as we start this week off, is that the CDC also extended. Now, remember, the CDC, people wonder, like, since when was the Center for Disease Control a player in the real estate market? But that, of course, is exactly what happened during the pandemic. And this was under the guise of being in the interest of public health that they were able to invoke a very little and maybe previously unknown federal law to be able to put a mandate in affecting real estate when, of course, who would have saw that one coming out of left field? But the fact of the matter is that this is according to the Section 502 of the Consolidated Appropriations Act of 2021. You guys remember that one, right? Of all the acts that have come out in the last 12 months, the Consolidated Appropriations Act of 2021, the CDC's latest order, extends the residential eviction ban through July 31st. The CDC said in its June 24th press release that this is extended to be the final extension of the eviction ban. So it might be the last time you hear the CDC weighing in on this stuff. And of course, that order prohibits residential landlords nationwide from evicting tenants until July 31st of 2021 for tenants who have used their best efforts to obtain government assistance, who are unable to pay their full rent, and are making the best efforts to make timely partial payments of their rent as well. So you see there's lots of little conditions coming in. Anyway, we got a lot more for you in this week ahead of us. Remember, we're here live Monday through Friday. That's 5 days a week, same time as now, 5 p.m. Eastern. We start the show, and we'll be back at you to 5 different ways: AM, FM, the apps, the website, and of course on Facebook Live. So that's it for today. This is your host, Eric Willner, signing off. Until tomorrow, same place, same time. Drive safe, wash those hands, and make it a great day. Bye-bye.
Brought to you by
That was fast.
LLC.
Thank you, Pierre. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. And just let me know what the plan is for Monday, okay?
You got it. I'll see you tomorrow.
Call toll free at 888
See you then.
595 7779. That's 888 595
And so goes another show. Erica is watching. Marianne is watching. Hey, Marianne. Who else we got going there? Investor. Hey, thank you, Erica, for typing that. Marianne's still fighting that head cold. Hope it's not the new variant. But if all it feels like is a head cold, that's probably good news if it is. Hope it's not, though. Anyway, hope everyone here has a great day. Get ready for a great week. Look at that. Just news break coming on there. Vaccinated people are dying from the Delta variant. You know, they're so difficult when you don't know what information is good, what information is right, what information is reliable. It just goes to show you that even though we are now more than a year into this, recall when I first started talking about the pandemic that I said that the least serious pandemic lasted over 2 years, and some of them lasted as much as a decade. So, I've heard that, the COVID's not going away. It'll never leave us completely. The question is, will it be at some point, hopefully as common to deal with and also not as lethal to deal with, perhaps as the common cold or some of the other, more common seasonal symptoms that we have. But right now, it's all part and parcel of everything, right? Whether people go back to work, whether the availability, the opening and closing. I just heard Israel just went back to stage 4. Australia just went back to stage 4, and needless to say, here we're the most vaccinated country in the world, and we're now going to see what the response rate is going to be, so that it can be sort of the leader of what will happen or what to expect. So anyway, we got a great lineup of stuff for you during this week. We hope that you'll tune in every single day. Remember to stop in and give us a like here on the video. Share the video. That's what's been helping us to increase and broaden our exposure there. So thank you to those that are sharing. And let me go ahead and power down now. Emergency bans. I'll say goodbye there. Hey, Brian.